Morning, our political journalist and broadcaster Kat Stewart and deputy political editor at The Sun, Ryan Say. And I'd normally at this stage be saying hello to you for the third time, but this is in fact the first time that we've had a chance to do a paper review because of all the breaking news this morning concerning the release of hostages in the latest phase. And Ryan, you have actually picked out a story about Gaza on the front page of The Guardian to kick us off.
Yeah, that's right. Their reporter out there, Malak Tantesh, has gone back to find her home, her family's home in Gaza. And she talks about the daily battles for Palestinians. Now that the conflict is over per se, it's the battle for finding bread every day, for finding water every day. It's a completely different mindset that they're going to have to go through. But then she's gone back to actually try and find a house, and it's completely collapsed and crushed. So people are going back to try and reclaim their lives and find their communities and people they used to know. But in terms of the infrastructure and the buildings, it's a scene of devastation for all of them.
And it's a reminder that while we focus on these latest stages where you see hostages released and then Palestinian prisoners released, there's so many other questions about the future that still have to be answered. Let's move on, though. We've not got a huge amount of time, so we're going to get through a few of the front pages if we can. And Kat, you've picked out the front page of The Eye, and this is a poll about Brexit.
Yes, so we're 5 years on since Brexit, and so The Eye has carried out this poll to take the temperature of how people are feeling about the situation 5 years on. And it's saying that 57% of people support the new youth mobility scheme, which will be good news for Keir Starmer because there is all of this talk of Labour's reset of the Brexit deal 5 years down the line. And they're really having to ride two horses at once because there are people, obviously, who aren't happy with Brexit and how that's played out, and so they're looking for new deals with the EU. We don't really know what that's going to look like, but also they have to satisfy people who very much do agree with Brexit and are concerned about any changes to that. Not all the numbers are good, though. Labour's 25% rating is apparently the worst it's been since the Corbyn era. So some positives here for Keir Starmer and Labour, and some very difficult figures as well.
And Ryan, to look at the Express, I mean, to what extent is relations with Europe a kind of key issue in our politics at the moment? We can see Kemi Badenoch there on the front page of the Express. I will fight to honour the will of the people. I mean, to what extent is this particularly crucial now when we're seeing the rise of reform?
Yeah, I think it is, and we've got Kemi Badenoch saying she'll fight to honour the will of the people. You almost feel like it's fighting Nigel Farage and that reform question. So I think she's trying to hold Sir Keir Starmer's feet to the fire and saying not get tied up in EU red tape and give away fishing rights when he comes to this reset moment. But there's a big, few days for Keir Starmer. He's meeting the German Chancellor tomorrow. He's going over to Europe over the next couple of days. So you just feel that there is going to be some sort of reset, and it's just how close Sir Keir Starmer can get to Europe without finding all this, creating all this flack that he's going to get from Nigel Farage and the Conservative Party. So it's going to be a difficult few months, and it's going to be difficult for Sir Keir Starmer to navigate it. But if he can set that this is going to lead to growth for the country, that I think he could be onto a winner. And
very briefly, there's also the Trump factor as well, who is sort of threatening tariffs against the EU. I mean, Keir Starmer's got to be mindful of relations with the US while he talks to Europe.
Yes, absolutely. And the threat of trade tariffs is a very difficult one for Keir Starmer. In Scotland, we're very worried about whisky tariffs, and that's a big issue for John Swinney as well. OK, so many things to navigate. We are out of time. It's been lovely to see you, albeit briefly, this morning. Kat and Ryan, thanks very much indeed. Top stories coming out next.
We've got your Sunday mornings covered.